This video is brought to you by catbeast.com. Design your own custom snapbacks and hats.
What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. Thank you so much for tuning back into the channel. This is, of course, the #1 fucking podcast right here on YouTube.com for everything WWE. This is Off the Script, episode 187, part number 2 for your Saturday, September 16th, 2017. I don't know what's going on, man. I really don't know what's going on. Yesterday, something very, very weird happened when I uploaded part 1 of this very podcast to my YouTube channel. And whether you guys are listening to me on YouTube or iTunes when it's uploaded there, Podbean, Stitcher Radio, Audio Boom, wherever you guys are listening to me, I want to let you guys know, and I want to make you guys aware of how ridiculous this entire monetization issue is. Now, I uploaded Off the Script last night, and if any of you are YouTubers, if anybody that I know that is doing this podcast thing, this YouTube thing, that's got a bigger channel than me, please let me know. Please let me know. Someone's got to fill me in because I am desperately trying to find out where the safe zone is. I want a safe zone from all this shit. So last night, I upload Off the Script. It's Friday night. Thursday night, I upload it to Patreon, right? I upload it unlisted to YouTube. It goes to Patreon first, a full 12 hours before it goes live on YouTube at 11 a.m. It was already uploaded. And when I uploaded unlisted the night before, I don't really put anything in the description. I don't put any tags. I barely monetize it. But I have been monetizing it because I want to see, and I monitor it throughout the night to see if the ads are still there within the video. And most of them were. So I uploaded it unlisted. Everything was good. Monetization was good. I really didn't curse at all like I have been. I've been kind of scaling down the foul language because I want to make everything, A, professional, a little bit more professional than it has been. B, I want to be in the safe zone for monetization because I don't want to lose ad revenue. So it's uploaded, it's monetized, it's got the green icon, everything's good to go. I wake up this morning, half an hour early before Off the Script goes live at 11 a.m. All I need to do is fill in a description, put the tags, and make a simple thumbnail. Now, my thumbnails aren't anything elaborate. They're not. I take a picture of whatever correlates to the top story in the podcast, and I put the Off the Script logo with the number of the episode and what part it is. So, I do all of that, and instantly, after I title it, tag it, describe it, thumbnail it, demonetized. I gotta submit it for review. So I'm like, no, we're not doing this shit. We're not going through this at all. At all. You are not going to dictate to me how I make my money and how much money I make. Now, if you guys are YouTubers, I want you guys to be aware of this review process that they got going on, okay? Soon as they flag it for non-advertiser friendly, you gotta hit manual review. Someone manually has to review your video. And then at that point, if they deem it monetization worthy, if they deem it advertiser friendly, then they give you the green icon back. So in between the time when it's demonetized, the review happens, and then they approve it or don't approve it. If they approve it, 9 times out of 10 they will, unless it's really blatantly unadvertiser friendly. You're not getting ad revenue in between. You're not getting any ad revenue. So most of your ad revenue for that video, for that day, is gone. It's gone. Now, most of a video's traffic is within the first day. Typically, they don't do these reviews the first day. It's like 2, 3, 4 days at most, I've seen, from what I see on my channel. It can go up to 7 days. So by the 4th or 5th day, imagine you get to the 7th day. That video ain't getting no more views. That video ain't getting any views whatsoever. All of your traffic is within the 24 to 48 hour window. After that, YouTube kills it. It kills it. Off the script, typically, in one day, does anywhere, or a span of 24 to 48 hours, typically, does anywhere between 20 and 25,000 views. Okay? So, ad revenue, if it has to be reviewed, and it is flagged almost immediately like yesterday's video was, gone. I make no money off that video. Now, what I did yesterday was I pulled the video, and I looked before I pulled it. What did I do wrong? I looked at the thumbnail. It was nothing but a thumbnail of Asuka. That's all it was. It wasn't Asuka bloodying anybody. It wasn't Asuka beating the shit out of somebody. It was Asuka in her mask with her robe on. That's all it was. Nothing in the description. I didn't really use that much foul language in the video. Like I said, I've been trying to scale that down. And then I looked in my description, and then I kind of correlate my description and tags to kind of be the same. You know, I jumble them up a little bit. I got a weird process of how I tag my videos. But it works. So, I looked at the Vince McMahon story. I used the word bladed. Maybe that is what caused the unadvertiser-friendly symbol to pop up. Maybe that's why they flagged it for demonetization. And I'm like, that can't be. That can't be. I've seen other people who do the same thing I do talk about the same story that use the same verbiage. Bladed, blood, you know, busted open. So I changed it to busted open. Done. Changed it. Couldn't be that. I don't know what it was. So if it couldn't be that, it's got to be something. There's got to be something wrong for it to be monetized all night for my Patreons, and then when I make it public, done, gone. And I think I figured out what it was. Now, every one of my Mae Young Classic reviews has been demonetized. Every single review of the Mae Young Classic that I did on my channel had to be manually reviewed. I barely made any money off of any of those videos because they had to be submitted for review. I look back at last Sunday's episode of Off the Script where I talked about Ronda Rousey and possible plans for her at WrestleMania. The thumbnail included Ronda Rousey in a UFC octagon. So I look at that, and I look at all my Mae Young Classic videos. Every single one of them was demonetized. Every single one of them had the same issue. Every single one of them had one glaring similarity. Every single one of them had a woman in the thumbnail. Whether it's a female wrestler who's in wrestling gear, showing skin, showing boobs, showing ass, showing skin, whatever. Same thing in every single thumbnail. Was a woman either throwing fists, staring at each other, or wearing minimal clothing, aka wrestling gear. So I don't know what happened yesterday, but I had to pull the video, and it didn't get uploaded till about 12:45 on Friday afternoon, instead of the typical 11 a.m. And this is really boggling my mind, man. I feel like Dick Tracy over here trying to figure out what I have to do to be in that safe zone. So I pulled the video, it didn't get re-uploaded till 12:45, and I didn't post a thumbnail on the video. You know what happened? It's been monetized all day. Nothing happened. They didn't flag it. There's ads playing. There's about 10 ads in the video for an hour and 10-minute video. Done. So it has to be the thumbnail. You mean to tell me that if I talk about wrestling on a podcast platform in the format that I've been doing for 4 years now, but I include a female, a woman wrestler in the thumbnail, it's going to get flagged for demonetization? You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. So that's why there wasn't any thumbnail for yesterday's video. That's why I pulled the video. And if anybody who's bigger than me, if anybody who's in the know, or has some type of solution for this, let me know if I'm losing my mind. Did I crack the code here? Is that the real reason? Or is YouTube not ready for Asuka? I have no idea. But I hope to find out soon. But the re-upload had no thumbnail. It was just me. The way you see me here, no thumbnail. But I'm going to try and find the thumbnail because I want all my videos to have a thumbnail. But there's no thumbnail and it stayed monetized all day. Monday Night Raw review videos, monetized. SmackDown Live, monetized. NXT, monetized. All my female videos, all the Mae Young Classic videos, all the off the scripts talking about a female for the top story, flagged. Flagged. Don't understand it. Someone help me out. Someone let me know. If you got an answer, please fill me in down in the comment section below. I want to thank everybody for showing some nice love to Tony and my brother Frank of Legionary fame. They have collaborated on a new project called Chaos Sanctuary. I uploaded a video at the end of Off the Script yesterday. Thank you to everybody that had some kind words for that track, their new single called Existence Obsolete Delete. It's just called Existence Obsolete. I just added the delete on my own because obsolete, delete, Matt Hardy, you guys get it. But if you guys are into that crazy thrash death metal thing, it's definitely right up your alley. I left in yesterday's comment section, pinned at the top of the comment section, Tony's YouTube page. Go and check him out, man. He's 26, 27 years old, roughly. An absolute phenom at what he does, man. Unbelievable. The best guitar player that I have ever seen. Period. You know, easily the best guitar player that I personally know. But, I mean, the kid has all the talent in the world. And, you know, he just continues to belt out hits one after another, man. Especially working with my brother, man. So go check him out. Tony on YouTube. Go in yesterday's video. Go check that shit out. Very, very, very impressive stuff by Tony and my brother as well. That was my brother's first music video. If you guys want to get a taste of how he actually drums, you see several shots of him doing his thing and working his magic, man. Go check it out. That is Chaos Sanctuary in yesterday's Off the Script video. Link within this video in the annotation. Follow me on Twitter at JDFROMNY206. Make sure you guys are subscribed down below and hit that bell and turn on all notifications. And also follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/JD from New York. Thank you guys so very much for all the support. We're going to get right into today's podcast, man. We got some stories. We talked about the women yesterday. We talked about Asuka and how I feel WWE is going to do a little bit more than bring Asuka to Monday Night Raw to pretty much correct what is wrong with the women's division on Raw. It's going to take more than just the Empress of Tomorrow to fix Monday Night Raw's stale women's division. And we go over all that in yesterday's video. But I want to keep it with the women theme here, man. Everybody's talking about this 4 horsewomen feud. The 4 horsewomen of MMA versus the 4 horsewomen of WWE. And if you guys watched the Mae Young Classic, you guys would have seen seeds planted for a possible match. Stare downs between Charlotte and company versus Ronda Rousey and company. Both factions sitting ringside during the Mae Young Classic. Both factions there during the finals. But everybody rumored, or everybody reported that the rumors were going around that Ronda Rousey and company were going to start something with WWE's faction at the Mae Young Classic final. That we were going to get the blow-off and the next layer of this feud to continue on into the fall with an eventual match happening at Survivor Series. Now, nothing happened at the Mae Young Classic final, and there's a reason for that. There's a reason why WWE did absolutely nothing with both factions at the Mae Young Classic. They featured them on the red carpet. They featured Charlotte, Becky, and Bayley on the red carpet. They featured Ronda Rousey heavily on the red carpet. They even showed her in the crowd during the Mae Young Classic final on the IRWNetwork. But there's a reason why, after being rumored all week, why WWE didn't do an angle at the Mae Young Classic final. Now, if you guys know, Kairi Sane defeated Shayna Baszler to win the inaugural Mae Young Classic tournament. Many fans were confused as to why there was no interaction or angle between the differing groups of 4 horsewomen. A big theme of the tournament seemed to be teasing conflict between WWE's version of the 4 horsewomen and the other group led by Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey, Jessamyn Duke, Charlotte Flair, Bayley, and Becky Lynch were all in attendance for the Mae Young Classic final, but nothing happened to further the storyline. Now, according to Dave Meltzer in this week's Wrestling Observer newsletter paid subscription, there is a potential reason why this did not happen. Meltzer says the decision was made early in the week to make the Mae Young Classic Finals all about Kairi Sane and her victory instead of focusing on the 4 Horsewomen. The 4 Horsewomen angle will be saved for another show. The decision was made to keep the focus on Kairi and not because of the 4 Horsewomen storyline being scrapped. It is still in the works. You got Ronda Rousey training. You got the other 4 Horsewomen on her side training. So things are moving at a slow speed, but they are in progress. So this was, to me, a pretty smart decision by WWE. I would have never, made this angle take place on the final. And there's a reason why the final, I was asking anyway, why the final was only 30 minutes. They did highlights on the red carpet, they did the introductions, the tail of the tape, and then they went out there and had a 15-minute match. All of that equivalent is a half an hour show. So it's all about the Mae Young Classic final, what happened in that ring, who was going to win that trophy, and that was it. Nothing else happened. That was a smart decision by WWE. Because no matter who won the tournament, Kairi Sane won it, great. But no matter who won it, Sane or Baszler, if anything happened with the 4 Horsewomen factions from UFC and WWE, and there was a massive, explosive brawl, and a big in-your-face explosion between the 2 factions, that would obviously overshadow Kairi Sane's victory, and you don't want that to happen. Kairi Sane is the next in line to take Asuka's spot as the queen of NXT, or the princess of NXT in her case, because she's a pirate princess. So you don't want to take away from that. WWE touted how big this tournament is, how all the women that are coming into the professional wrestling will look at the Mae Young Classic 5 to 10 years later, and that will be the beacon of why they are in this business. They will look back at the Mae Young Classic and look back to that as their reason why they are in the Performance Center, training to be a WWE superstar. So why would you want this big angle that obviously has main roster talent in Charlotte, Becky, and Bayley against Ronda Rousey, who's a household name? Why would you want interaction between those 2 factions to overshadow what is most important here? And that is building up the Mae Young Classic. The Mae Young Classic was never about the 4 Horsewomen. That was a reason to get you to watch the Mae Young Classic. It was never meant to be the sole reason why this tournament was built. And I'm glad they didn't do that. Kairi Sane should have been the only one who was focused on in that tournament on that night. It was all about her. Shayna Baszler did a commendable job as well. But to get Shayna Baszler to that point in the finals, I know for a fact, and you're not going to disagree with me on this, she was placed in the finals because she was a project of sorts for WWE. They put her there with Kairi Sane. 2 polar opposites. Because they want you to be aware of what they got planned for Ronda Rousey and the WWE version of the 4 Horsewomen. They were there, or Baszler was there, just as a, you know what, hey, we're doing this angle. She was there as a scapegoat of sorts to pretty much catapult this angle into the next layer. Whatever layer WWE has next for these 2 factions is anybody's guess. But Meltzer says that this will take place on another show. I would do it on SmackDown. Or, now, I could be wrong here. WWE could certainly do something like this. It's not out of the ordinary. It's not that far-fetched. Ronda Rousey, correct me if I'm wrong, is a resident in Los Angeles. So, where is No Mercy being held? At the Staples Center in Los Angeles. We got Sasha, who's there. She's part of the 4 Horsewomen. Bayley is a part of the 4 Horsewomen. She's on Monday Night Raw. It's a Raw branded pay-per-view, right? So, Ronda Rousey could be in LA. She was there for the Mae Young Classic. Stephanie is the commissioner or general manager, whatever the fuck they're titling these individuals now, for Monday Night Raw, right? So, she could be there as Stephanie McMahon's guest. Whatever. She'd be sitting ringside for this big Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar match, Ronda Rousey, UFC. 4 Horsewomen, UFC. Brock Lesnar. former UFC champion. She could be there. You can kickstart the angle there. Or if you want to have Ronda Rousey show up on SmackDown Live and confront Charlotte on her own show, you could do that as well. But I'm just throwing it out there as a possible idea. Ronda Rousey's in LA. You got No Mercy being placed in LA. It's not that out of the box to think about. So we'll see what happens with that. But I'm glad that WWE didn't go with making the feud between the four Horsewomen stables the main thing on the Mae Young Classic final. It's all about Kairi saying they made a good decision. There will always be another time. You know, when you got nights like that, focus on what's most important. You got Kairi saying, and you got her being the inaugural winner of the Mae Young Classic. Keep to that plan. Don't ever take that away from something like that or someone like that because you want to build a storyline for your main roster. It's all about the Mae Young Classic. Make it about the Mae Young Classic. They made a smart decision, and I expect WWE, before Survivor Series, I'm going with that this match is going to happen because they need to build Survivor Series off something. There's really nothing going for Survivor Series right now. WWE, we mentioned this already, they haven't built conflict between Raw and SmackDown, and they're not going to get me to believe in anything right now because it's too late. They want the conflict between Raw and SmackDown, they would have built it over the year. They haven't done anything. The most that they've done between the two brands is talk about how Daniel Bryan and Kurt Angle are scouting talent in NXT. That was the only mention of this brand split. There's no conflict. There's no war between the two brands. As far as I see it, the brand split is not even a priority to WWE anymore. It's just there. It's just there. But Survivor Series, another thing is, there's rumors going around that Brock Lesnar's not going to be at Survivor Series. That No Mercy and a possible win over Braun Strowman is his last date for WWE in 2017. Lucky to be Brock Lesnar, huh? Good to be Brock Lesnar. Anybody would be lucky to be Brock Lesnar. One more date, September 24th. You got the rest of the year off to do whatever you want. Go hunt deer, do what you want. But if Brock Lesnar's not going to be at Survivor Series, what is WWE going to build around Survivor Series? People talking about John Cena and The Undertaker. People talking about The Undertaker returning. Can WWE go that route? I'm not going to bank on The Undertaker or anything Undertaker right now. Being that we've seen Ronda Rousey on WWE television more, over the last couple of weeks, especially with her Four Horsewomen stable, WWE didn't do this by accident. They didn't have this conflict by accident. They didn't film exclusively for WWE.com by accident if nothing's in the works. It's going to happen. Survivor Series needs something. This Four Horsewomen thing is the best thing that WWE has right now for Survivor Series. Other than that, it's a dead pay-per-view and a dead concept because nobody is interested in anything Survivor Series right now. Speaking of Charlotte, I want to talk about Charlotte and why she's been off SmackDown Live. Now, if you guys are fans of Charlotte, I do want to make mention that if you are new to the podcast, you guys can sign up to our Audible trial and get Charlotte's new book called Second Nature for free. So if you guys have not done that, please go and subscribe to audibletrial.com. audibletrial.com/offthescript. That's all you got to do. Enter your information, 30 days free of Audible, and you get Charlotte's book for free. That's the book you want. You got one free book. If you don't want Charlotte's book, you got over 180,000 books to choose from. But I'm mentioning Charlotte because she's part of this next story. So if you're a fan of Charlotte Flair and you care about what goes into her autobiography, if you want to go on the journey with her through, childhood and then getting her break in WWE, it's all in the book. You guys can get it for free. audibletrial.com/offthescript. But there's a reason why Charlotte has been absent on WWE television. Now, Charlotte has not appeared on WWE television since August 8th. She missed SummerSlam. That was when she defeated Lana in a match on SmackDown Live. Lana. Great. Get off my TV. Charlotte was given time off when her father, the Nature Boy Ric Flair, underwent surgery on August 14th to remove a piece of his bowel. With Rick in recovery, Charlotte started wrestling at live events, but she has been kept off television. According to Cage Side Seats, take this with a grain of salt, not really the most reputable source out there, but they are reporting that there are two reasons why WWE is keeping Charlotte off of television. First reason is Charlotte will be promoting her new book in the coming months, And the second is WWE Creative has nothing for her. So she's probably waiting for this angle to take place. That's her something. SmackDown Live Women's Division is currently centered on reigning champion Natalya, Carmella, and Naomi. Four-time Women's Champion returned to the ring on August 29th in a dark match on 205 Live against Natalya. And that's on 205 Live. August 29th in a dark match against Natalya? That's news to me. But it was for the SmackDown Women's title, and Charlotte failed to get the win. She's been wrestling at live events ever since, but she has appeared on SummerSlam to update everyone about her father's condition, and she was not a part of the show in any other capacity. Wrestling Inc. reports that Ric Flair has started rehabilitation, and he is back in front of the camera for a project by People magazine. Flair has an upcoming ESPN 30 for 30 special, and the producers are hopeful that Ric will be healthy enough to make the advanced screening in New York City. Now, I'm okay with Charlotte being off television. You know, absence makes the heart grow fonder, right? Charlotte was really jammed down our throats in 2016 and early in 2017, right? Everybody made a big deal about Charlotte, you know? 4-time, 5-time women's champion in a year. That really doesn't make a good champion at all. In fact, it devalues the championship. But we've discussed that aspect many times here on this show. Not a big fan of that. I actually got time to listen to Sam Roberts' podcast with Sasha Banks. She reiterates that. You know, she is not a fan at all of title reign after title reign after title reign, and it really being 1 or 2 weeks. That's not what she wants. That's not what she looks at as being a champion. And I gotta agree with her. Sasha may be young, but she's got an old soul. Everything she said in that podcast rang true. Everything. I urge you guys to go listen to that. I felt like I was listening to me talk. I felt like she was actually listening to all my grievances on this show, because whatever she said on that podcast with Sam Roberts, at one point or another, I mentioned on this show. And I was like, I said that. I said that. I said that. I agree with you. Amazing. Doesn't make you a better champion because you held the title 5 times and held it for a span of 5 weeks now. Sorry. WWE may think so, but in the long run, I don't consider that great at all. But Charlotte was shoved down our throats so much, you know? Charlotte Flair, the greatest women's wrestler on the planet, blah, blah, blah. First time this, first time that. How many matches with Sasha? You know? Greatest women's rivalry of all time. All the verbiage WWE used, whatever the case may be, she was overexposed. So to see her now, and her being reported of WWE having nothing for her to do, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. She's had her moment in the sun. Now, when you got Rusev on the roster, who's 100% healthy, when you got Rusev, a guy who people want to see and see succeed, and then you come and tell me, well, we got nothing for Rusev. That I have a problem with. When you got Sami Zayn and Ty Dillinger on the roster, right? Those guys, how talented they are, and you tell me, oh, we got nothing for them. That I have a problem with. I don't know. You are a creative writer for a reason, right? So why don't you creatively write? What is the one glaring hole on SmackDown Live that needs the most attention? Tag team division. So you're wasting Sami Zayn, right? You're having him wait by catering for someone to go on their Uber app and request a fucking ride. That's what you got him doing. Ty Dillinger, you got him selling chocolate chip cookie dough Sundays. You mean to tell me you can't find something for these guys to do? What are they doing with Oney Lorcan down in NXT? They're pairing him up with one of the UK guys in a tag team. You know? You got to be kidding me that you can't do the same thing with Sami Zayn and Ty Dillinger. That's a babyface team if I ever seen one. Give them a run in the tag team division. They've done it. You've paired them 2 or 3 times already. Why don't you give it another go? Experiment. Give these guys something to do. I don't know about you. I'd love to see a babyface team of Zayn and Dillinger versus the Usos. Or Zayn and Dillinger versus the New Day. Or Zayn and Dillinger versus, I don't know, Maybe you bring up AOP. Somebody. Harper and Rowan. Get them back together. You know, WWE can make a very good tag team division if they use their brains for a little bit. Instead of wasting these guys away. You bring Sami Zayn up from the main roster, or from NXT to the main roster for what? For what? You got Ty Dillinger coming up from NXT, who got himself over by using a goddamn fucking number. 10. He's the perfect 10. That got over. The simplest of things got over. And WWE killed him because either they didn't like the 10 chance, they didn't like the gimmick, they had no use for him, he got himself over, so now WWE's kind of sticking it to him. Oh, you got yourself 2 over. We can't have that. You do what we say when we say. When we want. You're going to get pushed when we say. And it may happen, it may not happen, but the opportunity's always going to be there. Just got to wait around. It's not the way I would operate. You got these guys on the brand. You got a division with a black hole forming. Do something about it. Come on, bro. So, Charlotte, I don't know why I started just going off on just completely something else. We're talking about Charlotte here. Charlotte being off TV, I don't mind. She's had her moments in the sun. You don't need Charlotte to have another moment. Especially now. Her father is ill. If that is going to have her off television, fine. That's all the excuse you need. Her father is Ric Flair. She wants to take care of her father during this time of need, fine. Wrestling should be the last thing on her mind. I know she's employed by WWE. I know she has a job to do. But if she's not on SmackDown, it's not going to harm me in any way. I'm not going to miss her. WWE has other women that they could definitely utilize and build up in her absence. But like I said, when you're talking about Charlotte, I don't mind. Guys like Rusev and Zayn and Dillinger and Luke Harper. Those are the guys I have a problem with. When you come and tell me, oh, we got nothing for them. Got nothing for them. Why are you a creative writer then? Shouldn't even be employed at that point. Moving on. Speaking of Rusev. Rusev is a lost puppy on SmackDown Live. Seemingly everywhere he goes, he's just shit on. And I don't know why. But the one thing everybody talks about is how talented Rusev is. How they want to see more of Rusev. You know? He's not the greatest wrestler in the world. More than capable of having a good match. But we want to see more of him. And we know, as fans, he's gotten the shaft. Right? He's been fed to Roman Reigns. He's gotten that position to put Roman Reigns over. He was put in the League of Nations. He was fed to John Cena. He was undefeated U.S. champion. He was fed to John Cena. He was in a feud with Dolph Ziggler or Dog Ziggler, right? With puppies and fish. They took Lana away from him. They put Lana with Ziggler. He got Summer Rae. Ruru. Garbage. Absolute garbage. So then he gets hurt. And then he comes back 4 months later. Rusev's looking better than ever. Looks in fantastic shape. Rumors going around that WWE ain't pushing him. He's in the doghouse because he cut his hair without letting anybody know. So what? The guy can't walk down the block from his home to Main Street and go to Sal the barber and get a cut? Yo, Sal! I need a trim. You're gonna punish him for wanting a haircut. Right? You're gonna punish the guy because he wanted to get married to the love of his life, Lana. What sense does that make? Do you people want to see anybody happy? My God, what is it, slavery in WWE? Rusev, everybody wants to see him. Comes back after being injured, right? What do? Feed him to John Cena. Flag match. Garbage. Garbage. Then they put him in SummerSlam with no build. Shouldn't have even been on the card, right? With what happened to him, you were better off sitting in catering. Put him on SummerSlam, put him in a feud with Randy Orton. 9 seconds. Done. Lost to Randy Orton in 9 seconds in a match that should have never even been booked. And a feud that should have never even been booked. So now people are talking about Rusev possibly talking babyface or turning babyface. Talking about Rusev being babyface. that this could be something that he needs to move forward in his WWE career. Now, since returning to SmackDown Live, the Bulgarian Brute hasn't found much success. Yeah, you can add Sami Zayn and Ty Dillinger and Luke Harper to that list too. Where are they? I don't know. Maybe they enjoy Titus Catering's tiramisu just a little bit too much. Put down the fork, put down the menu, and start booking these guys the way that they should be booked. Nobody's found success anywhere because WWE's lazy. If you ain't Reigns or Cena or Strowman or Lesnar, garbage. They don't want nothing to do with you. His first rivalry upon his return was with John Cena. He lost at Battleground, like I mentioned. Randy Orton, 10 seconds, embarrassed. He's been absent from WWE television for the past few weeks. So now, he was back on SmackDown Live and threatened to take out a legend to get noticed. Whoever that may be, I don't know. Some of you were saying Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho ain't coming back to the WWE right now, man. The only logical thing I can think of is it has to do something with Randy Orton. Maybe he's going to attack Cowboy Bob Orton. I don't know. But that certainly won't turn him babyface. So we'll see what happens. In the aftermath of SummerSlam, there's been some speculation about Rusev undergoing some character changes on SmackDown Live. It's been rumored that a major babyface turn could be in the works for Rusev to freshen up his character and get him some new matchups. Apparently, there is a lot of faith from WWE officials that Rusev has charisma and skills in the ring to get over as a babyface. I don't see Rusev as a babyface. This is WWE failing at their job. Rusev is a clear-cut heel. Okay? Clear-cut heel. Now, I don't see how a babyface run could work. I mean, you could do a multitude of things with Rusev. You could feud him with AJ Styles of the United States Championship. That'd be interesting. Much better than what they got with the United States Championship now in Baron Corbin. You know? Rusev can, I don't know. He could form a tag team with Jinder Mahal. Being that Jinder Mahal is now, built up as the WWE Champion. When Jinder drops the title, maybe they have a nice little alliance going on. Maybe you can get that as a tag team going, I don't know. There are things for Rusev to do. But a babyface is not something that I'd really do with Rusev. He's just natural heel. You look at somebody and you can tell instantly, yeah, he's a babyface. Yeah, he's a heel. That's what I look at when I look at Rusev. Yeah, he's a heel. I don't see Rusev as a babyface. Same thing goes for Randy Orton. When I look at Randy Orton, I see heel. I don't see babyface at all in Randy Orton. That's why babyface Randy Orton doesn't work. So, I don't know what they're doing with Rusev, but yeah, he's got charisma. Yeah, he's got definite, decent in-ring skills. Not the greatest, but much better than what he was when we first seen him. He's very capable of going in the ring. Now, earlier this year, the powers that be were considering a main event push for Rusev. He's been the United States Champion for 2 long reigns and feuded with many top guys in the company. But did it get him anywhere? No. If you're feuding with Cena and Reigns and guys like that, you should be moving up the ladder. But he's been buried every single time. WWE's brought him up and then bloop, right back down. So, on paper, Rusev would thrive as a main event talent, especially on SmackDown Live. However, WWE officials seem to think he'd be better suited as a babyface considering he's worked as a heel over the past 3 years. With him back on WWE television as of this week, his creative plan seemed to be avenging the embarrassing loss he took from Randy Orton at SummerSlam. Their feud should continue into Hell in a Cell. Crossing my fingers that it's not in Hell in a Cell. But it's unclear how the powers that be are planning to get the fans on Rusev's side over the coming weeks. The rivalry with Randy Orton provides him with some opportunities to avenge his loss and get some big wins. Okay, so if he could get the ball rolling, the powers that be could find ways to build sympathy, especially if he begins to feud with someone like Baron Corbin or is given a WWE title shot against Jinder Mahal later this year. The trick will be to see what works, and the feud with Orton can try a couple of these things. If his booking hits the right notes, the WWE Universe will naturally turn Rusev eventually. That's how a lot of organic babyface turns happen for heels. The fans know how good Rusev has been, and they need a good reason to cheer for him. WWE officials can always have Lana on his arm, which could help him. However, a face turn that is all his own would be more effective in helping him reach the next level of WWE's ladder. I don't know, man. I don't like it. I don't like it. WWE can book Rusev as a strong contender. Have him go over Randy Orton, right? Have him maybe feud with AJ Styles to the United States Championship. Have him feud with Shinsuke Nakamura over the WWE Championship. You know, it's all about right place, right time. You know, Rusev's injury really was a detriment to his push. You know, reports had it that before WWE even looked at Jinder Mahal, that Rusev was supposed to have Jinder Mahal's spot. If he didn't get hurt, Rusev was going to be the one in line for the WWE Championship on SmackDown Live, and not Jinder Mahal. But being that Rusev went down with injury, they gave it to Jinder because they wanted that outsider. They wanted that foreigner. Rusev fit the bill, but he got hurt. So Jinder Mahal, you know, came into the office one day with veins, you know. I got veins. You know that fucking Family Guy episode where Stewie's on steroids? Yeah, he looks like that, you know. He's sitting at the dinner table, and he's blocking Brian from getting down the staircase, you know. And he's lifting steroids, and he's trying to beat the shit out of Susie Swanson. That's what Jinder Mahal looks like. That's Jinder Mahal to a T, right there. Stewie Griffin on steroids. That was supposed to be Rusev. So this entire injury, out for 4 months. You know, WWE, they went with somebody else. And then when Rusev came back, they had nothing for him. It's all about right place, right time. Rusev's right place, right time was when he was healthy before this injury. You're talking about right place, right time now, it ain't. Rusev may have a little bit longer to go before he sees the light at the end of the tunnel on WWE television. It's not his time. It's not his time. I don't know what you do with Rusev. Right now, honestly, he fits into no plans. This is why we're getting a feud that is worthless with Randy Orton. Because they have nothing for him. And that's a problem. What did I say before? When you mention guys like Rusev and the words, I got nothing for them, that's a fucking problem. That's a problem. Guy's too talented to say, yeah, I'm sorry, I got nothing for him. Give me a break. You could have had something with him if you wanted, you know? Instead of giving Baron Corbin the WWE Money in the Bank victory, right? If he was never going to be the one, if you lost faith in him for whatever reason, I don't know why you didn't put Rusev in that match. I would have much rather seen Rusev be Mr. Money in the Bank than a Baron Corbin. At least Rusev would have worked his ass off for it. At least Rusev would have been believable as champion. You want to turn him babyface? That would have made him a babyface. Cash-ins always seem to have that magical effect at turning people from heel to babyface, you know? Dolph Ziggler wasn't really a babyface. What happened when he beat Del Rio? You know? People fucking wanted to cheer Dolph Ziggler. He was a tweener. He was in between. He was with Big E. He was with AJ. You know? What happened? That was the biggest pop that Dolph Ziggler ever got. Ever. WWE really fucked up Rusev, man. They really messed up Rusev. It's all about right place, right time. Right now, it's just not the right time for Rusev. It's not. I don't know what else to say. WWE dropped the ball on Rusev, and I don't know if 2017 holds anything in the cards for the Bulgarian Brute. I really don't. Speaking of Hell in a Cell, there are rumors going around that WWE is going to have a second Hell in a Cell match during their pay-per-view. Now, I read this, and I was like, I'm kind of indifferent to it. I don't mind it, but I'm always going to be the guy to tell you, you know, I would just want to see one Hell in a Cell match. I think 2 is overkill. 2 is overkill. We don't even see 2 in a year. You're going to have 2 on one show? Come on, man. Overkill. You know? Quality over quantity. That's an ideology that WWE just really doesn't care for. Quality over quantity. Did we really need 3 Hell in a Cell matches last year? I don't get it. Now you're going to have 2 this year. 1 makes sense. Shane and Owens makes sense. I could look at this one and say, yeah, it makes sense. Just based on the fact that it's been the best feud outside of whatever they got going on with the main event. Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon. I'm not talking about Juicer. But I'm kind of indifferent to this one, man. I really am. And with the fact that I reported yesterday that Kofi Kingston's hurt, I don't see how much sense this makes by putting a decimated tag team champions in the New Day inside one of the most brutal matches that this company has. Don't see that making much sense at all. But by that time, Kofi might be healed up. Xavier Woods might be healed up. Just gotta hope that Big E isn't injured by the time we get into Hell in a Cell. One of the best rivalries in the WWE right now is the Usos and the New Day. We've seen both teams trade title victories over the past few months because WWE thinks that makes everything more interesting with titles switching back and forth. It doesn't. This includes the latest title change, which saw the New Day defeat the Usos in a Sin City street fight on SmackDown Live. Thanks to Ryan Satin, Mr. Ryan Satin, on the latest edition of Wrestling Sheet Radio, there is a potential plan for the New Day and their SmackDown Tag Team titles at Hell in a Cell next month. He says that there is talk inside WWE of doing a Tag Team Hell in a Cell match at the event. This would be between the Usos and the New Day. It would make sense, since the Usos are owed a rematch, because once you're champion, you're owed a rematch. What happened to Finn Balor? Is he excluded from this case? What happened with anybody that's held the Universal Championship? Are they excluded from a championship rematch? Kevin Owens didn't get his rematch. Finn Balor didn't get his rematch, right? What happened? What happened? But everybody else gets a rematch. Whatever, you know? Sasha Banks, she's supposed to get her rematch, right? She lost to Alexa Bliss. She's supposed to get a one-on-one rematch. What are they doing? They're putting her in a fatal four-way. That's not a rematch against Alexa Bliss. That's pretty much giving her the shaft as far as odds go. It's not a rematch. So they are owed a rematch per WWE with this contract clause, rematch clause. It would also add some extra stakes to one of the best rivalries in the WWE right now. With the last match between them being a street fight, it would make sense for them to add an even bigger stipulation to the mix. If this happens, that would mean the Hell in a Cell event would have 2 Hell in a Cell matches. Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens, and then the New Day versus the Usos. Now, I would much rather see the Usos and the New Day inside Hell in a Cell than Shinsuke Nakamura and Jinder Mahal. I will not, and I'm going to say this flat out, I would not put it past WWE to give us 3 Hell in a Cell matches, because everything in WWE seemingly to them is better in 3s, right? The announce team gotta have 3 people. Gotta have 3 people. Monday Night Raw's gotta be 3 hours. Hell in a Cell needs 3 Hell in a Cell matches. Well, why can't we do 3 Punjabi prison matches? At least those cages are made of wood. Everything's gotta be in 3s. Hopefully, WWE doesn't do Nakamura and Mahal inside Hell in a Cell. The feud does not need it. Don't care what the cringe brothers are doing at ringside. Those 2 I am okay with. But if you're going to have the Usos and the New Day inside Hell in a Cell, now I know Shane McMahon and Kevin Owens is probably going to go past Hell in a Cell. I'm sure of that. So if you're going to have the New Day and the Usos inside Hell in a Cell, that Road Dogg should be the blow-off for that feud. Definitely. You're not going into Hell in a Cell, and then you're going to have a match between these 2 teams, and then book this feud or this match again on SmackDown Live. No, this is it. This is it. You enter the cell, only one team comes out. If you lose, that's it. Goodbye. Go do something else. I don't want to see these 2 teams on SmackDown Live next week with Jey Uso versus Big E. No. Fuck out of here, man. So we got New Day inside Hell in a Cell. I don't mind it. It works, but it needs to be it. The only thing I question is the New Day going to be healthy enough to compete at full capacity, at full level, at 100% inside Hell in a Cell. I hope Kofi Kingston's injury isn't that bad. Maybe WWE will have to reroute their plans. We don't know yet. We'll find out, and we'll see how Kofi's injury progresses over the next couple of weeks. We got rumors on WWE 2K18. You guys know that I'll be playing 2K18 career mode and universe mode on the channel. It's coming out next month. 4 days early, by the way, for those who pre-order the deluxe edition or the Cena Nuff edition. But WWE 2K released an article this week that details, finally, all the changes that they're making to WWE 2K18 from last year's career mode. From the details, the game seems to be a big improvement on what fans got last year with 2K17. This is the summary of the changes that they will be adding to the story mode. Now, 2K promises that they focused on strong story for this year's game. There are two possible paths that you can take your own WrestleMania or your own created character on to his WrestleMania moment and beyond in 2K career mode. You can either be a company guy or a fan favorite. Now, if you're a company guy, going down the company man path means that you're all about helping the general managers, the GMs, get what they want out of the roster on any given show. This involves conspiring with the GMs backstage, ambushing WWE superstars in the locker room or during their interviews, and basically doing whatever it takes to maintain that GM's power, both in the ring and backstage. The rewards are hefty, though. Continue helping the GM succeed and you'll gain access to awesome upgrades, such as ability to orchestrate a run-in to help you win a match. You can also access Vince McMahon's office to lobby for a match, for a lobby to matches, and changes to matches and title rematches. So that's that. Now, on the other hand, instead of being a company man or an ass kisser per se, you could be a fan favorite. Now, being a fan favorite means that you don't play the whole company game and you're all about putting on the best matches and promos. You have a locker room full of WWE superstars and legends backstage. This route involves earning their respect by taking on different match types. Night in and night out, you'll also have WWE superstars test your in-ring aptitude and skills on the microphone, but if you succeed at this, you will earn the whole locker room's respect. And with that comes some perks. WWE legends are always backstage during events. If you earn their respect, they'll start to give you in-ring bonuses for your matches and promos. If you become the complete package, the guy who can walk the walk and talk the talk like Stone Cold Steve Austin or John Cena, you'll be able to have your own customized WWE Championship or Universal Championship. This honor is only given to the best of the best. I'm going to be a company man. Fuck that. I want to conspire. I want to cheat. I want to be dastardly. That's what I am. Company man. Fuck a fan favorite. Now, there's also free roaming backstage. Rather than looking at menus to determine who you should align with or who you want to make your rival, you can simply go and talk to them or ambush them backstage. Want an interview with Renee Young? Simply go up to her and ask her for an interview. Don't like the WWE superstar she's interviewing? Go up to him during live TV and interrupt that interview. There will be no shortage of personalities backstage, from WWE superstars and legends to GMs, apparel tailors, and more. Sometimes the interactions will also present side quests that are separate from the main storylines. Think of them as mini stories that aren't as involved or crucial to your road to WrestleMania. For example, some WWE superstars might ask you to ambush a rival or go toe-to-toe with them in a promo. The game mode also promises an updated promo system that is much more improved from last year. There is a new My Career Invasion feature where your friends will be seen in your backstage area. With the addition of free roaming backstage, naturally we started thinking about the possibilities for My Career Invasion. Just like last year, your friends, my players, or my creative characters, can populate your career mode. However, this year you'll actually see them backstage. They act just like any other superstar you'll see backstage. You can talk to them, pick them up as tag team partners, get side quests involving them, or even ambush them. It's up to you on what your role is. My players will have certain different ways to go about themselves in my career. So there you go. That is the latest update for all WWE 2K18 My Career. It sounds great, but we still see nothing of it. But I hear there are multiple different backstage areas, man. Some of you guys were tweeting me that there was a scene with Cesaro and Seth Rollins fighting in catering. So Titus Catering is confirmed for WWE 2K18, man. I can't wait to get my hands on it. I wonder what he's serving on the menu that night, man. Should be very interesting. But WWE 2K18 looks promising. It sounds very good. It sounds like an upgrade. But we'll see. The only way we can determine that is when we physically get our hands on a copy in November. So keep an eye and an ear on the channel. It will be all over the channel. I'll give you guys My Career, Universe Mode. Gonna be fun, man. So keep it right here if you guys want the most realistic WWE 2K18 Universe Mode and Career Mode here on YouTube.com. Moving on here, man, we got a story about Dolph Ziggler and where his potential storyline is going, and we discussed this on SmackDown Live. We discussed this already a few weeks now. Over the past several weeks, we've seen fans, give Dolph Ziggler a hard time. He mocks the fans. He mocks the entrances of popular WWE superstars on SmackDown Live. So far, we've seen him mock John Cena, Naomi, Macho Man, Randy Savage, Bayley, The Ultimate Warrior, and a fantastic copy of Shane McMahon. I thought it was Shane McMahon on SmackDown Live, to be honest with you. I think Dolph Ziggler did Shane McMahon better than Shane McMahon did Shane McMahon. Many fans have been confused about what exactly is going on with Ziggler's new gimmick and where it is leading to. So let's take a look at what's going on. One of the many theories going around is that all of this mocking will eventually lead to a match with Bobby Roode at Hell in a Cell. Someone who has one of the most beloved entrances, one of the most over-the-top entrances in WWE. Now, it would make sense as a first big feud for Bobby Roode on SmackDown Live. We haven't seen him in 2 weeks, and I don't mind that at all because you don't want to overexpose him. WWE used Ziggler as Shinsuke Nakamura's first feud on the main roster, so I'm thinking that Bobby Roode is going to have the same thing happen to him. Dolph Ziggler be his first real opponent on SmackDown Live. Ziggler's been mocking all the entrances and saying that he is the best at what he does inside that ring. Now, this is really going to lead to Bobby Roode because, he's making mention of the entrance. All you need is a big, luxurious, fantastic entrance with his theme music and all this other shit, right? Meanwhile, nobody cares about what he does in the ring. So that only means Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode has nothing going on. Bobby Roode is obviously going to be featured on Hell in a Cell's pay-per-view. Dolph Ziggler's on his way out. Why not put over Bobby Roode on your way out, Now, I can't think of any other storyline here. That's the only one that makes sense. So that's where the storyline is potentially going. Everybody from Satin to Meltzer, PW Insider, forums, podcasts that I listen to, all saying the same thing. And if they're all saying the same thing, and we're saying the same thing here for weeks now, something's got to give. Ziggler's probably going to go on to feud with Bobby Roode in his last hoorah on SmackDown Live. Ziggler and WWE clearly need a break from one another. Ziggler could probably do so much better for himself on the indies. Open up a shop on Pro Wrestling Tees, sell his own merchandise, create a brand new image on the indies, have the best damn matches you'll see in 2018 on the indies. He could be the 2018 Cody Rhodes if he wants to. He could make more money doing whatever he wants on the indies, and he would have free time to do whatever else he wants. He's not going to be, constricted to a schedule. He's not going to be handcuffed and told, oh, you can't do that, you can't do that, you can't do that. And he's not only going to be able to do WWE, he's not able to do anything else. But he's not going to be able to do that on WWE. If he can't do his comedy, he can't go out and branch out. He could do that on the indies and work on his own schedule. And being that he is a former world champion, a main roster attraction on WWE, guy can command anything he wants. Autograph sessions, bookings, signings, this and that. Guy's got it made, Use what you learned in WWE and use the platform that they gave you after all these years to make yourself even bigger. And like I said already, on a couple of episodes ago of Off the Script, make them jealous and make them want you back even more so. They don't want you now, but they'll want you when you develop a name for yourself, like Cody Rhodes. They're dying to have Cody Rhodes back now. That's what Dolph Ziggler's got to do. They need time apart. They spent too much time with one another. Again, just like Charlotte. Everybody's like asking, where's Charlotte? Absence makes the heart grow fonder. When Dolph Ziggler's away from SmackDown Live, when Dolph Ziggler's away from Triple H and Stephanie and Vince McMahon and Michael Hayes and Road Dogg and all these other, absence will make the heart grow fonder. When they see you succeed, and when they see you not needing them anymore and succeeding more so, they're going to want you back. That's how it is. That's how it is. Like an ex-girlfriend, right? Ex-girlfriend, right? She cheated on you. And you say, fuck you, goodbye. I don't want nothing to do with you anymore. And you go on to find somebody who makes you truly happy, and she's miserable, and she's still single, and she's messing around with all these other guys, and she can't, she has the reputation of being sleazy. And she can't get anything right. She can't do anything right. Meanwhile, she had everything right in you. And she constantly begs you back. She sees you happy, right? Oh, honey, take me back. Oh, darling, where did you go? I love you so much. I loved you. You were always my number one. I was just confused. That's WWE and Dolph Ziggler right there. Simple as that. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. And when WWE sees Dolph Ziggler bigger and better than ever, they're going to be like, oh shit, we had this guy. I want him back. That's what's going to happen. Believe me, that's what's going to happen. Finally, guys, we're going to end with this story. This one's an odd one. Triple H. Actually, this isn't an odd one. I'm not shocked by this whatsoever. If I'm Triple H, I'd feel the same way. Triple H, reportedly, furious about Finn Balor being held back on Monday Night Raw. I mean, I understand why Finn Balor is being held back on Monday Night Raw. Just look at the entire roster. Why is everybody else being held back on Monday Night Raw? Can't do much with Brock Lesnar handicapping and holding that title captive, hostage for the entire year. And the guy works how many matches per year? 4? Come on, bro. Why is Finn Balor being held back? Because he's Universal Championship material. This was the guy you were going to build Monday Night Raw around. Then all of a sudden you sign Goldberg, you put him in a feud with Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar's the Universal Champion. And for the entire year of 2018, nobody has anything to fight over. Because Brock Lesnar has it. How can you fight over something if Brock Lesnar's taking it into the fucking woods with him to shoot deer? Of course Triple H is going to be upset. Balor was a world-class athlete that NXT was built around. Comes to Monday Night Raw, he ain't special anymore. The only thing that Finn Balor's known for on Monday Night Raw now is that fucking Kevin Dunn crotch shot that drapes over his lower region when he makes his ring entrance. It's the only thing I know about Finn Balor. What did they do differently about Finn Balor? They added a nice crotch shot for the women. Only a few weeks after moving to the main roster, Finn Balor won the Universal Championship by defeating Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. Unfortunately, he got hurt, and he was out for 8 months. He had to relinquish the title the next night on Raw because of a shoulder injury. Over the past 5 months, the WWE Universe has grown frustrated by the day because WWE officials haven't given Finn Balor the push most people believe he deserves. He still hasn't received his rematch for the Universal Championship with Brock Lesnar. Has he asked for it? I mean, we seen him ask for it. Well, he really didn't ask for it. He wanted a match with Brock Lesnar, right? But all he did was the demon was going to slay the beast, right? I don't believe that for a second. Brock Lesnar would probably use Finn Balor as a toothpick after eating a T-bone steak at Capitol Grill, And then after that, he'll bend the toothpick and throw it into the crowd like Razor Ramon. Not a believable match. Not something that I want to see. Not now anyway. He still hasn't received the rematch with Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. He is stuck in the mid-card with a Bray Wyatt feud that goes nowhere, or that is going nowhere. Hasn't really wowed the fans, hasn't intrigued anybody, and it doesn't seem like WWE officials are planning anything bigger for Balor for the rest of the year. WWE fans aren't the only ones frustrated with Balor's booking. It's being reported that Triple H is said to be furious with Balor's position on Raw. He doesn't seem to be pointing the finger at anyone in particular. I find that hard to believe. You got to start pointing fingers. Triple H got to be a little bit more vocal, man. I understand that Vince McMahon's show is Raw. But when you ultimately take NXT guys and you bury them on Monday Night Raw and have, we got nothing for them, bullshit! Bullshit! You got nothing for them. I booked Finn Balor's rest of 2017 on yesterday's show. He's furious with Balor's position on Raw. The game lobbied hard for Nakamura and Bobby Roode to be moved to SmackDown to ensure they didn't find themselves lost in the shuffle with nothing to do, as Finn Balor currently is on Monday Night Raw. Seems that Triple H is trying to convince Vince McMahon to bring most NXT talent to SmackDown Live before moving them to Raw, where superstars are micromanaged. It's Monday Night Raw's problem. They're micromanaged. I worked in retail. I worked with micromanagers. They're annoying. You want to kick their teeth down their throat. You work in retail, you're putting out the displays, right? Then you got some fucking idiot, some goon, who comes over and, this is not straight. Look, Dasani, right? I could put Dasani, the logo could be facing this way, right, in the case. Oh, this is not straight. You did it wrong. It's got to be this way. Are you fucking kidding me? Take a sip of this water, man. This episode's making me sweat my balls off. Yeah, I'd be pissed too. So, everybody now is complaining that Balor's got nothing to do. He's being wasted in 2017. No shit, Sherlock. He's being wasted. Why do you think we all wanted Asuka to be moved to SmackDown? SmackDown's no better. Raw's actually been better than SmackDown. But I trust Asuka under Triple H's watch on SmackDown Live more so than I do Asuka and Vince McMahon. There's no need for anyone to hit the panic button. The WWE Universe is firmly behind Balor right now, as they've always been. And it's only a matter of time before he gets his opportunity again at the top. Brock Lesnar's limited schedule as WWE Universal Champion takes away some of these opportunities from Balor and the rest of the roster. So Finn Balor's time will come. Everybody just needs to be very patient. This is where WWE, and this is a simple solution. You want Balor to be at the top of the card? Why don't you put him with the IC title at the top of the card? It's not that difficult. They're just lazy. Well, we got nothing for him. He's got nothing to do. Simple solution. Right there. If Lesnar is going to beat Strowman and he's going to be off TV, there's no reason why the Intercontinental title cannot main event Raw for the rest of the year. And if you want somebody with credibility to build up that title after it's been desecrated on Monday Night Raw, as always, Balor's your man. Balor's your man. If not, a shakeup needs to happen, and you need to trade Balor for somebody else on SmackDown Live. And knowing WWE, if that happens, they'll probably move Balor over to SmackDown in trade for AJ Styles, royally screwing us out of AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. So I'm going to zip my lips before WWE catches wind of what I just said, and they actually make that a reality. Because I've already stated that Samoa Joe has nothing else to do on Monday Night Raw. What is he going to do when he comes back from injury? He's not going to have anything to fight for. Move him over to SmackDown Live. Randy Orton reportedly wants to come to Raw. They got nothing for him on SmackDown. Trade Joe for Randy Orton. Give me a break. I don't understand. You got creative writers. You got the most talented roster this company's ever seen. And you can't come up with solid ideas? Of course Triple H is going to be frustrated with Balor being held back. They built the entire NXT brand around him for 2 years. Now he's in a feud with Bray Wyatt, the eater of losses. Fuck out of here, man. Yeah, you want Balor on Raw to sell t-shirts and cater to the kids and do the entrance. Oh, look at the smoke, Daddy. Oh, look at the entrance, Daddy. I can throw my hands in the air, Daddy. Look at me. Meanwhile, the guy is sinking. He's a sinking ship on Monday Night Raw. Triple H furious. Would you be? I know I would. Can't fucking blame him whatsoever. That's your Off the Script episode, man. Thank you guys so much. I am JD, and I will be back here for Sunday. We got rumors on Global Force Wrestling. GFW, Impact, reveals Alberto El Patron's future with the company, as if anybody cares. Is anybody still watching GFW? No, probably not, but I got news. I got news on Bobby Roode and Kevin Owens possibly being planned after Hell in a Cell. And that is the only other stories that I got for tomorrow. Hopefully something else breaks. But I'll be here either way. I'll be here. We got subscriber stories and Patreon shoutouts as well on Sunday's episode of Off the Script. Thank you guys so much. If you enjoyed the episode, hit that thumbs up down below. Let's strive for 1,500 thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate that. See if we guys can hit that goal. Follow me on Twitter at JDFROMNY206. Subscribe to the YouTube channel down below. Hit that bell for your notification. Buy your t-shirts, barbershopwindow.com/offthescript, audibletrial.com/offthescript, and patreon.com/offthescript. Also, show some love to my buddies over at capbeast.com if you guys want custom-made logos on hats, beanies, caps, anything you guys need. Coupon code JD10 at checkout, capbeast.com. This beast is getting out of here, man. Thank you guys so much. I am JD, and I'll see you right back here on Sunday morning for more Off the Script. I'll talk to you later.